What do you say about that? Football's a crazy game. Things can turn very, very quickly, as you saw tonight. First of all, credit our football team. I thought we started really well. I thought we played a tremendous football game, especially on defense, through 3.5 quarters. And then, Nebraska catches fire a little bit. Missed interception with a bounce. Next thing you know, you're in a game after a punt return. It gets dicey. But, it's good that you have a close game. I don't like them. But I guess it's good to have a close game and win it at the end. And I thought our players played hard. Obviously our defense played extremely well, especially versus the run, giving up, I guess, 40 yards and tackles for losses and sacks and turnovers, etc. So we played very, very well. Offensively, we didn't run the ball as effectively, and we didn't pass the ball as effectively. But things are going to happen like that at times. Coaching error or player error, whatever you want to say. Last play of our offense when we ran out of bounds, taking the clock, taking another 40 seconds off the clock, because that was huge. And but we'll take it. We're 4-1. We go to Purdue next week, so I'll take some questions.
Mark, have you been involved in a game that wild at the late stages like that?
Yeah, I'm sure I have. I'll have to look back, but I'm sure we have. Things change, momentum and enthusiasm and confidence, and when you get on something happens and it starts to spark you, things can change very, very quickly. I thought Marcus Rush played a tremendous football game. I thought Shalik Calhoun did as well. Came up with turnovers. The last play of the game, obviously, I think it was pressure, and great pick by Trey Waynes, but I think it was the pressure. And it was a gutsy call by Narduzzi. We went after him. So, credit all people concerned with that. But I don't know. I guess I could ponder on that for a while.
Mark, the Nebraska came in averaging, I think, over 350 yards. Abdul's been so good this season, and you're able to hold him down. What was the key for that defense tonight against specifically the run for Nebraska?
Well, I think it's what I talked about all week. We had to take away the cutback angles and have great pursuit to the ball. We needed to have a great attention to detail, a great scheme, great structure, which we do, and then you've got to do your assignments, got to do your job. And we had a lot of guys doing their jobs. I thought Tylen Jones played extremely well tonight. I thought Ed Davis did. I thought our linebackers did. I thought our whole defense did, actually, especially in the first half when we got put into some tough situations, with turnovers. Offensively, we've got to be able to, I think, take the air out of the ball and drive the ball a little bit more, and I didn't think we passed the ball as well as we had. But things like this are going to happen. And, you have to credit Nebraska in terms of what they're doing as well. They've got a good football team. They're a 5-0 football team, and they're a good football team. And they're a well-coached football team. It takes things away from you. And they have good players.
Mark, headed into the week, you talked about this is the type of game that establishes an identity. The defense, for a few breakdowns here and there. Was this a game defensively that established that identity a little bit? Yeah,
I think, you're looking for an identity throughout the year as you move forward. And, last year we developed an identity as we went forward. And, this year we had the Oregon game, and the other 3 were blowouts. This was 27-3, and it was in control. We were in control of that football game. But I'm just glad I'm not sitting here talking about how it slipped away. So we're blessed for that. But, I do think you develop an identity, who you are, how you play, how you finish, and somehow, some way we finished. And our guys were more ticked off than unconfident or lacking effort. So it didn't go that way. It was hey, we just had to get it done. So we found a way to get it done. Offensively, we did take time off the clock. We missed a field goal at the end of the game, which is uncharacteristic. So things happen. This is not a perfect game. There's no question. And the other team has players too. So, but we found a way to win, and that's the important thing.
Coach, it seemed to me that you stopped their running game without selling out, without daring them to pass, without stacking 9 guys in the box. Did I see that correctly? And if I did, how did you manage to do it against as talented back as they have?
It's schematically what we do is we're going to stop the run. We're going to find a way to stop the run. So whether it's zone pressures or whether it's the way we get our backers in the box, And, you know, they were able to throw the ball a little bit. They had 100-plus yards, I think, at halftime throwing the ball, or 80 or 90, whatever it was. But, you know, again, it was the pursuit angles, it was tackling in space, it was great structure, which has been our trademark here, and it was guys doing their job and being extremely sound in what they're doing. And we tackled very well on the perimeter. But we've got good players. I think our players understand that. And this, you know, to me, it's not all, you know, our defense sort of, you know, we won the football game on defense. Let's just call it what it is. And that's a good thing to have happen to us right now, because we can be a complete football team. And so I told our football team at halftime, hey, we've been there. You know, we are the defending Rose Bowl champions. We are the defending Big Ten champions, at least through this season. We've been there. We played big games. Rise up. It's our time. That's what we did.
Mark, after all the craziness against Nebraska a couple years ago, and a lot of the same kinds of calls came down, and when that ball was in the air,
interesting. I won't go beyond that.
when that ball was in the air going in the end zone, you got a hand on it, what was going through your mind?
I couldn't see it, whether he caught it or he dropped it, you know. But what was going through my mind is we had a minute to score. So, hey, somehow that didn't happen. We made a play, and then after that we made a play. But this is, you know, football is a crazy, crazy game. Maybe that's why everybody loves it so much. But you know, I think I already talked about what happened. But I thought we were in control of the game. There were a lot of big plays that we had. Shalik Calhoun, scoop and fumble. We should have had a touchdown on that one. But, you know, call it what it is, and we ended up kicking 3. But the scoop down the field, the change, not only the stopping them from scoring, but the changing the field position was huge. A couple 4th down stops on our side of on their side of the 50, you know, going in. Just a great effort.
Mark, after Oregon, several of your players commented about getting comfortable there before Oregon made their comeback. Connor just talked about he was relaxed. He credited to him. He talked about it was his fault tonight. Got relaxed, and then before Nebraska came back, you won a national title. How do you weed that out of your program? That whether it's play calling or whatever it is, or players, how do you weed out that getting relaxed when they have a lead and not having a killer instinct?
Well, we never had many leads when we did that before. You know, they were all very, very close games, but. I think what you know, it's uncharacteristic of us when we do get a lead like that to let people back in. That's uncharacteristic. That does not happen. But it happened. So we got to deal with it and learn from that, and learn how to stop it. But you know, when you got your hands on the ball, and it's probably an interception, maybe for 6, the ball pops through your hand and floats into somebody else's hands. That's a tough one to deal with. But you got to deal with it. You got to get back out there, and you got to play, and you got to be able to. I believe you've got to be able to reaffirm who you are. We knew there'd be adversity. We talked about that all week long. Just didn't know it'd come in the last 3-4 minutes like that. Great punt return. We knew the guy was a great punt return. The ball went flat. She punted out of bounds, and he busted it. And you know, all of a sudden, you know, in 4 plays, you know, 3 and out, a touchdown, 3 and out, and another play, a punt return. All of a sudden, they're right back in the game. So, but. Like I said, we didn't panic, we just had to bear down a little bit, and it worked out.
Mark, I'm wondering how concerning, not just the 9 penalties, but the 3 personal foul calls as well. How much is that concerning for you?
Yeah, the personal fouls, I'll have to watch the film to see that. Hopefully I will be able to see that. And, you know, obviously I'm not happy about it, but I really didn't see what happened, so I really can't comment on that. But I don't think there were vicious hits or anything like that. But they made the call, so we deal with it. Took us out of field position one time, we got it back. Another time, I don't think we did.
Coach, I know you just said that what wasn't your personality the first 7 seasons you've been here, but this year there have been 2 games where teams have come back, and that has looked like an identity for maybe a team missing starters. How do you coach out of a team that doesn't look like it can finish?
Well, you know, I disagree with you, so I'll ask the questions, because when was that occurring at Oregon?
You're 09.
Yeah, when did that occur? In the 3rd quarter.
Right.
Okay, in the 3rd quarter. So, You know, this was 27-3 with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. There's a difference. The game was more in hand in this game. It's a different scenario, it's a different situation. So I don't think we have a problem with that. I think the game was still in question against Oregon. We were up by 9, but I think it was much in question, more in question than 27-3 with 8 minutes to go, my opinion.
Mark, Connor made some pretty spectacular throws tonight. He also missed a few easier ones. I'm curious where you think he is right now.
I think that every player is going to have better games than others. You look for consistency in your quarterback. Probably didn't play his best football game, but the thing about Connor Cook that he will do, I know he will do, he will regroup and he will play extremely well his next time out. It's been his nature. I thought we had some great individual catches by our wideouts, and the ball was right on the money in those situations, and some big plays, but the consistency that has been there wasn't there as much today. But again, you got to credit what Nebraska's doing too, because they're right on top of you. The receivers made great catches, they were great throws, but not every one of them are going to be like that. So credit Nebraska what they're able to do. And, I think they got a plan too, and they had a good plan. We didn't run the ball as effectively as we had. We didn't pass the ball as effectively as we had, and they held us in check. They held our offense in check more than has been done probably this year, and so credit them too. It was a good football game. I mean, if you stayed till the end, it was a great football game at the end. Wish it wasn't. It was.
Mark, that was kind of my question over here. Were you just winning with the number of fans that left early tonight?
Yeah, it was.
Elaborate anymore?
Probably should. I was disappointed. I guess I can't help myself, like my wife says. But yeah, I think you should. It's a great football game. You don't call for them often. I don't call for the fans many times. We needed it to be loud there, and it's a big football game, and got a little empty there at the end. But I guess it's Saturday night.
Coach Dantonio, I'm only bringing this up because nobody else has.
Oh,
It
okay.
didn't look like it was an easy night to throw the football tonight.
No, it was wet out there. It was raining and wet and slippery. It was. It was. But we played in those conditions before, and it wasn't that cold out there and anything like that. And I just think that, again, you go back and you look at it, there weren't a lot of guys running completely free out there. They were going to have to make catches on people. They were going to have to make 50-50 catches. The ball was going to have to be on the money. They had pressure at times. They got good players. They got a great defensive end, Gregory. They got pressure. They got good players. And they got a good scheme. They're well coached. So, there's a part of that that's due to that as well. You have to be able to accept that too, as a coach.
Mark, for the last 7 minutes of the game or so, was the
It's a grinder.
Yeah, it was a grinder. When the last the play calls more to eat clock rather than go aggressive and try and score and get that knockout punch?
Well, I thought we had a knockout punch. It was 27-3, and I think it was 27-3. And I said, "Hey, run the ball," because there were too many close calls. And coming down the stretch there, we weren't playing as well as we had early in the game, and so I wanted to be more conservative and rely on our defense and make them go the hard way. That's what they did have to do, but hit the big pass where Nicholson makes a play, saves a touchdown. They ended up scoring on a touchdown anyway, I believe, on that one. I think on that one. And then they get the punt return. The punt return flips it around really quick because we win by 5. And we're up by whatever it is, 5 and 6, 11. So this game's still in hand, but it flips like that.
Thanks a lot, Coach. We're going to bring more players.
Thanks.